Here's KATC meteorologist Daniel Phillips.
All right, everyone, let's do a breakdown here on the tropics. Still watching the tropical weather and the tropical forecast. Even though things have kind of trending out over towards the east, we still need to watch everything because we still don't have a defined center of circulation. We're going to be looking for one today, where the hurricane hunters are going to be looking for one today, and they'll let us know what's going on down there. And once we see that, we can really start to build a little bit of confidence here. But until then, models kind of best guessing everything, and they do an okay job, but this is the problem, is that we're right on the border of major impacts or no impacts. Most of the impacts look to be out over towards the east, but you're talking about a difference like 20 to 50 miles. If it swings either way in that short of a distance, you're going to change the forecast that we're looking at completely. So we still have to monitor everything and be aware of everything. Now, where we want to be is either at the center or just west of the center, because you've got dry air here towards the west and a lot of shear. Notice how everything's getting blown off in this direction. So all of your impacts are going to take place out over towards the east. That's what the models have been picking up on as well, and have done a fairly decent job with the information that they have. And again, they have an incomplete data set without that center, so they're going to have an incomplete forecast. And they've stayed pretty consistent with a couple wiggles here or there. We noticed the wobbles a little more than others, again, because we're right on the boundary of it. But as for right now, European, and the GFS looks very similar to this too, by the way, keeps a lot of the heaviest rainfall out over towards the east, with some very heavy showers out the other side of the basin. It still brings some moisture for us, and we're still going to get breezy conditions as well, but it may not be quite as intense. Now, once it hits landfall, as it tends to do, everything starts to spread out and becomes a mess. So you get all the showers out over through the southeast, but you still have these corridors out over through about the Biloxi area, maybe out over towards Mobile Bay, New Orleans, the Pearl River communities as well, that will see some of the heaviest rainfall, and that's where your flooding threat is going to exist, that corridor there. Let's call it roughly a little west of New Orleans all the way to Mobile Bay, where you'll see some of the heaviest shower activity, and then it goes on out over through the southeast. That will bring plenty of rainfall through the southeast as well. We're kind of left alone. Now, there will be a little boundary that kind of lingers here through next week, so that will spark some showers as well, but that's a problem we can address next week. For us now, the way things stand, we're probably on the hook for about 1 to 4 inches worth of rainfall throughout the course of this system. And I know you're looking at this now. This is one model run. It's got the inch and a half, gets a little bit lower out over towards the west, but there is model support that we can still pick up about 3 to 4. So that's why we're giving it that range. And it's going to be a tight gradient. The further east you go, the heavier those showers are going to be, the more rainfall there's going to be. The further west you live, the less threat you have of any kind of flooding. As it stands right now, 1 to 4 over 3 days we could handle. It's if things start to drift a little bit more that we could start to see a return to that problem of flooding. But like I mentioned, the corridor looks to be right around here about New Orleans through Mississippi and getting on into coastal Alabama as well. You may see it stretch out over towards Escambia and Santa Rosa counties, out over towards Florida. For us specifically, though, these are the impacts that we're looking at. We'll run with the data that we have now, but these numbers still subject to change. 1 to 4 inches worth of rainfall possible. Higher amounts to the east, lower to the west. I don't think there's going to be much wind damage. It'll just be kind of breezy and gusty out there from time to time. 6:50 right now. It's about 73 degrees.
Thanks, Daniel. We want